Good evening. That was a hard one to take, wasn't it? Welcome back to Through Black and White Eyes for this post-mortem of what was, as Gary says in the chat, which we'll come to later, one of the worst performances we've had. Yeah, disappointed to say the least. Let's get through all the chat stuff. Adam, welcome as always, but today is not the day. Tomorrow night for stuff like that, I will be asking Martin that question if it's true or not. But again, don't forget, Martin doesn't get everything right. You've been chasing Bruno for 2 years. Welcome to Through Black Wise Postmaster Chat. Today's trip at the London Stadium. Please like and share. Hype the show afterwards if you enjoy it. Super chat at the bottom right hand corner. Become a member. It all helps us to run this channel to make sure it's free. And then anything on top of that, we try our best to give to charity, which is what we'll be doing with getting guests on. As I say, tomorrow night for all brothers. And please be kind. Don't be silly. You know, the usual stuff. Evening, everyone. I won't say good because it isn't. It's still a good evening because, you know, we're here. Let's not let a football game ruin our lives and ruin our evening, even though, as you can tell by my face, I am fucking ruined. Dan, Evan, Joey, how are you doing? Yeah, let's get into it, Dan.
6 a.m. was a long time ago.
It was. I finished
at
7 in the morning, went to bed at 8 o'clock, set my alarm for 1:30. Thought, do I really want to do this? I'm that tired. And I went, no, we're going to win. And then I sat through that shower of shit.
I woke up, I set my alarm for 5:45, came downstairs, and, you know, the NBC staff was still nattering on, you know, about yesterday's results and such, and talking up Man City and this, that, and the other. Because, you know, of course, we had Gary Neville and Lee Dixon on over here, you know.
All right, Lee Dixon. Yeah. I like Lee Dixon. He's not too bad.
Well, but they were both on the panel this weekend.
Right.
All day yesterday, they were asking people on Twitter to, you know, tell Gary and Lee what is the best breakfast, American breakfast items to have, you know, for, you know, while they're here and that kind of stuff. It was just, it was hard to get excited. And then I saw the lineup and I just went, come on now.
Right.
I'm not going to complain, you know. I am going to complain. I'm going to bitch wholeheartedly.
I don't get it. I don't get why people are bitching about the lineup.
Well, so I have not read the statement. I mean, Trippier was unwell.
So I think there's a bout of illness in the camp. Tonali's had it. So. Trippier's had it. Everyone looked lethargic. There's something not right. So we'll discuss. I mean, because the lineup was a tough one.
But when Gary and I talked about it on Friday, mm-hmm. you know, we both agreed that Joe Litton needed to sit. He needed a break. You know, we argued possibly that Bruno needed a break. You know, a further break because he didn't start in midweek. You know, I would have liked to have seen Jacob Ramsey from the beginning, perhaps. I don't know what's going on with Lewis Miley, that we haven't seen him now for 2 full matches, even though he's been on the bench. You know, that kind of thing. But, you know, first thing I saw when I woke up was Trippier wasn't in the 11. Yeah. You know, and I saw that the Chronicle said that there was a club statement that he was unwell, you know, that kind of thing. But I didn't read it. And then, you know, sat down, turned on telly, and got ready for the match. I had just, you know, made something to drink, sat down, and Murphy had it in the back of the net. I sat down and went, right, that's the way to start. Right. I've go ahead. You think there was something even more amiss in the starting 11, or were you?
Right. Well, let's look at it this way, right?
Go ahead.
Game after game after game after game.
Yeah, which we've talked about episode after episode. Yep.
So on Tuesday night, was it Tuesday night or Wednesday night? Can't remember now. We knocked out Spurs in the Carabao Cup, but we made 7 changes to that team, thinking about the game this weekend. Bruno didn't play in that game. He came on for a little bit. Tonali play was instrumental.
Yep.
Ramsey started and Willock started. Barnes started and Alanga started. So for me, the changes were always going to be made this weekend because they rested the players on that night for this weekend. So Joe Linton was always going to come back in. Bruno was always going to come back in. Gordon was always going to come back in. And Murphy was always going to come back in. So I don't understand why we're criticizing the lineup when it was obvious what was happening from the midweek to the weekend.
As I said on Friday, Gary and I said that Joe Linton just hasn't been up to snuff, which is why we figured we would rather have seen Ramsey.
But then you've got to think about his fitness, haven't you? Because he's just come back from that ankle injury.
We've been managing his minutes. Yep, and he played well on Wednesday night.
He did.
You know, I
like him.
I thought Willock had a great game on Wednesday night.
I thought he played he played well. I wouldn't say great game. I would say he's still rusty, ring rust a little bit. I didn't think he was. Heavy.
I didn't think he would put Botman straight back in.
See, I did.
Okay.
It was a cut to the back of the head, and cuts. You know, as young as they are with stitches and things like that, it's not a danger, is it? So because it wasn't concussion, it was concussion. Completely agree. He's not back of the team. Protocols, all that sort of stuff. But Botman and Chow have been excellent the last few games. So it's hard to say to Botman, look, I know you cut your head and we had to bring you off because of that, but you're not playing now because Shaw had a good game on midweek. You're like, well, it was my shirt. Give me it back. You know, I earned it. Yep. So, but again, we're so rich in that area. You've got Chow, you've got Botman, you've got Shaw, you've got Dan Burn who can also fit in at left centre back.
Yep.
I don't think that was a bad decision or the wrong decision or the right decision. I think it's a toss up between the 3 of them at the moment. Who plays?
Okay, fair enough.
And whoever comes in, you expect them to do a job, don't you? Yeah, because they're quality. I mean,
and I didn't think Kraft looked bad on Wednesday night either. As soon as we saw Trips is unwell, I'm like, okay, well, we've got a ready-made replacement there in Kraft, no problem.
Well, see, like I like Kraft. I like him as a squad player.
Yeah,
but you could clearly see we were missing Trippier today. There was a few little incidents when Kraft went down the right-hand side, especially in the first half.
Yep.
We decided to switch the play to the left-hand side because Kraft was the highest man up and they didn't really want to give him the ball.
Yep.
And I don't know if you remember it or not, we were playing some little lovely one-touch football on the right-hand side between about 4 players. They give it to Kraft, and all Kraft had to do was a one-touch pass straight to Tonali inside midfield, and Tonali would have turned, he would have been facing goal in a dangerous situation. But he didn't. He took a touch and then tried to play it, and the pass was gone. Yep. And that is where you miss the quality of Trippier when you bring in someone like Kraft. So that was yes, I don't mind Kraft coming in, but then you lose something extra when he plays. He can't really cross the ball either, let's face it. So I think we needed to be more defensive minded today rather than gung-ho attack. Because when you got Dan Burn and Kraft as your left back and your right back, they're not going to be offering the support that they should be going forward.
No. And as I said, I was still, putting a drink together, and I missed Bowen's shot that hit the bar, So I'm looking in from the kitchen going, well, that's not good. But then by the time, like I said, as I'm sitting down, ball's in the back of the net because Murphy put it in there. So I'm sitting there going, okay, all right, we're off to the races now. Everyone's, as you've already said it, everybody else has said it. Social media has been blasting it now for the last several hours. We looked leggy, we looked lethargic, we looked lazy, and I noticed that the alliteration is there in all of those insults. I was shocked. I was just shocked that we were that poor. We were just, we were. I've seen shambolic. I've seen disgusting. I've seen, worst away performance, under Howe. As you know me,
Is it,
I'm
though?
not. It isn't. I don't think so. And
I don't think it was. I can think of a few Man City performances at their ground where we've gone there and we've all thought about potentially getting a point, and then we've just rolled over.
Yep. We've gotten turned over by Spurs. It's just, what is it about West Ham, and especially this West Ham team? This West Ham team, who got under Moyes, they got us at our place, got us 3-1 down, and we had to come back. I'm just. It was shocking. It was just. We've looked at that side and said, Gary said it the other night. Bowen is the only one in that side who is up for doing anything. Even West Ham fans are saying, Bowen needs to be looking for a move out in January because he needs to go somewhere. If he has any intentions of playing for England next summer, he's got to be doing better than he is, playing in a better side than he is.
See, I find that really, I know West Ham have been shocking, but Potter was not the right manager for West Ham.
No, we've seen that in the last several jobs that Potter's had.
Yeah, but then you look at the players that West Ham have; they do have quality that can hurt you. And I was thinking, I got some like a Man United fan at work. I always take the mick out of him. He's obviously getting one up on me at the moment, and he said to me, "He said it should be an easy win for you tomorrow, 2-3-0." I said, do you know what it is? 3 weeks ago, I would have said yes. Because West Ham were in a slump. They had the wrong manager. I was thinking, the West Ham game's not one to worry about. But when Nuno came in, I was like, he will sort them out because they have still got quality that can hurt you. They've got Paqueta. They've got Bowen.
Wan-Bissaka.
Wan-Bissaka always loves a good game against us. So I said it wouldn't surprise me if it was a draw today. Obviously, and I didn't expect us to play this badly, but West Ham are in a false position. And I think a lot of people are just looking at West Ham's early form and thinking, they're a rollover. They're not. West Ham at home are actually a very good football team with the right manager. And I think they've now got the right manager, and you'll see them starting to climb the table.
Agreed.
So it's a tough one to take today. And putting your finger on it is almost impossible because everybody was poor. I can't even think of anyone who had a half-decent game.
The substitutions at halftime were baffling.
Yeah. Again, tough one. I was happy we made subs. I didn't mind Kraft coming off because I just thought he'd give nothing going forward, and Chow was played at right back before for AC Milan quite a lot, and Chow was also actually very good on the ball as well. So I thought that's not the worst decision in the world. And
Gordon was whatever is going on with Gordon for us in the league. I mean, because he's a world beater for us in Champions League. Is it just because it's the Champions League? Can he not get geed up in the league? I mean, what is it about playing in the league that has got him suffering for whatever reason?
I don't think Anthony Gordon was bad as what everyone says he was. He was looking sharper near the end of the first half. He had that really good effort that the keeper saved. And I thought if he just had that a bit further to the left, that was flying in. And it was a very, very good save. And I think he was just starting to come good. I mean, a lot of people were saying he was cutting inside too much. And I think he was. But that's not like him because he is normally the one who will go on the outside as well. I don't know if that was an instruction to get inside more and be more of a threat. I'm not sure. So I probably wouldn't have. I mean, I did say take him off at halftime, but then I'm thinking about it again and going back through the highlights of the game and what I remember seeing of it. Gordon wasn't as bad as what everyone makes him out to be. Again, and I felt what's up with Voldemort? He came off at halftime, was never in the game. This is why I think there's something deeper going on, because I don't think he comes off at all if he's fully fit.
Okay.
So I think there's a bout of illness going around the camp, but Eddie Howe's keeping it quiet because he doesn't want to use that as an excuse.
Right.
And that's what he's like, isn't he?
And he's one that'll take the lumps.
Yeah.
You know.
Exactly. Protect his players.
And we know he's got credit in the bank. So I was going to say this a couple of minutes ago. I'm not a happy clapper. I'm not going to sit there and clap and say, well done, lads. It wasn't. It was terrible today. But I'm also not one of the ones that's going to join the Eddie out brigade as soon as we have a bad result. I mean, come on. No, man has far more credit in the bank than that. And it's just the amount of, I had to finally give up. I finally got off Twitter today because I was just, it was far too vitriolic out there for me to even wade up to my knees. It was, Eddie has way too much credit available to him with the board, with the owners, with everybody.
Of course he does.
Especially the Geordie,
the level-headed fans. Understand that you will lose football matches.
Yeah,
it's the manner we've lost it that's really frustrating, because I don't mind losing when we go out and we give 110% and we're on it.
Correct.
And we get beaten by a better team.
Correct.
Today felt like the players just didn't have it in them to play this weekend, which is ridiculous after we made 7 changes midweek.
Which then goes back to, did they not travel well? Did they fly? Did they bus?
I don't know.
I assume they flew. I assume they flew.
I think so. It's only an hour, isn't it?
All the news yesterday about LNER, and what was going on there. I mean, I know that the Chronicle had a story also about Lee Ryder took the train down yesterday, and that he had a horrible time. Hi, Paul. I'm not looking forward to Wednesday at this point, because I mean, if there is a bout of illness going through the camp right now, then the best everybody could do is, I don't know. Do you not train for the next 2 days? Everybody stays home. Everybody stays in bed. Everybody stays, gets well, doubles up on vitamin C, and and tries to feel better. Chicken soup for everyone, and go to bed. Everyone.
It works.
Yeah.
Bit of crusty bread with some butter on. You see, the thing is, when we play on Wednesday night, we're a different team.
I agree.
This is my problem. The players seem to be more up for the Champions League than they're up for the Premier League. And you don't get Champions League nights unless you perform in the Premier League, because next season you can forget about it now.
Yeah.
I can't see us getting 5th now.
Yeah. No, not unless we go on a run at this point. Last season that we went on a 9-game winning streak or something like that?
We did, but we didn't have Brentford away and Man City as the next 2 games. And that's the other thing that you've got to look at now, is that we've got very tough fixture list coming up, and now the derby in December
takes on a completely different.
Yeah. Yep. If we don't improve, there's a chance they'll turn us over at their place, because I mean they're in a right mood at the moment, and I hate it. But I mean, I can't stand the people who there's like bipolar within our fan base online. We're winning, we're back, we're going to go on a run, we're going to finish the Champions League. Right, we lose a game, we're shocking, sell everyone, sack Howe. Where's the middle level-headed people? Yeah. They're the people I want to talk to. More. I need more of them.
So if you were Eddie Howe at halftime, you would have changed what? You would have brought Barnes on for Gordon.
Yeah, but then I'd feel a bit sorry for Gordon, thinking about how he was finishing the half. I might have given him another 10, 15 minutes and then maybe made that change. But I definitely would have brung Joelinton off for Jacob Ramsey.
As would
100%. 100%.
Yep. How he stayed on the pitch for 90 minutes, I can't understand today.
Yeah. No, I don't know. I don't get it. I mean, our away form is terrible. We haven't won a game all season away from home. So, I mean, this is not a out of the blue result today. This is what we've been doing all season when it comes to away games. We're better at home. Are we turning into Brentford?
Our commentators today were commenting just before they got their equalizer.
Yeah.
Agreed. It was the only constant. Yeah. What was that so far our 3 travels away from home so far this season have been 0-0 draws.
Yeah.
So they were talking about the fact that we had
wrong. We got beat off Brighton 2-1.
Well, I'm saying that the commentators were saying, right, okay, maybe it was the statistic was 3 of the 4 away trips this season have ended in.
Yeah, we did 3 in a row, didn't we? Then we went to Brighton and got beat.
Come on, again, it's 6 o'clock in the morning, and even though we got an extra hour of sleep last night, still, whatever the statistic was, it was just kind of. They were talking about the fact that we had a lead and that we were at that moment struggling to keep it, to hold it. And they said, 3 of the 4 matches away from home were 0-0. So the fact that we were leading in the first half was an anomaly for us, and then of course we gave up the equalizer. So so you would have taken off Joelinton for Jacob Ramsey. You would have said, you would have given Gordon another 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, just to see if he would start the second half.
And would you have yanked Big Nick at the time?
No.
At halftime?
No.
I wouldn't have either. That was the one that surprised me. I was surprised that he took off Gordon for Cher, which was like, okay, wait a minute. And then we saw and then Kraft came off and Ramsey went on, or Kraft came off for Asula.
Yeah,
is what the subs were.
Well, it's the way they portrayed them on the TV, wasn't it?
Correct. No, and we know that that's not the formation. I'm sitting there going, they're not putting Asula at right back, which right back was a bone of contention for me today, simply because of how many times that position changed during the match. We had Kraft, then we had basically Chow, then we had Jacob Murphy, then we had the fact that Tonali ended up as our right back today was just, oh boy, the sooner we can get the folks that are injured back, if we can get, the fact that Lewis Hall was on the bench, we talked about that on Friday. Gaz and I, he was 50-50 to make the bench. He was on the bench today. So that means at least we have, a certain level of confidence in his ability so far. That means we could bring him on for 15 minutes, and start getting minutes in his legs, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
The sooner we get Hall back, the sooner we get Livramento back, the sooner we get Trippier back, the sooner we can see Vissa in his rightful position for us instead of against us, would be terrific. Brentford's going to be too soon.
God knows when he's back.
Well,
I have got no
reports. The reports we were hearing midweek this week was that West Ham was going to be too soon for him.
Mm-hmm.
But the possibility was that he could be on the bench sooner than we expected. But we haven't seen a date. Guys, you're right. We haven't seen a date. We've seen possibilities.
People keep backtracking with it, don't they? I mean, Hope said he's going to be this, and then he keeps backtracking and going further back, and then it's now brung forward again. I don't get it.
Well, and Gaz was on Friday saying, is it, Asula is the one who's putting out the social media messages that had featured Vissa in them, and several of them showed his knee wrapped in bandage, that kind of thing. Was that a psychological game? Was it mind games? Saying, oh look, he's not as close as we expect him to be, or is that? But there was that feel good factor that we were seeing in all of those posts. That there's genuinely, the togetherness that we've talked about for many seasons under Eddie Howe. The lads are fantastic together. But maybe you're right. Maybe everybody's suffering with the shits or something. I don't.
There's got to be something, because you don't take Voldemort, your top goal scorer, and your only real option up front off at half-time when you're drawn 1-1 and you're struggling to control the game. That confused the hell out of me. And that's what makes me think there's something a bit deeper. There's a bug going around or something, and everyone's under the weather a little bit. And I tell you what, today Soucek had 45 minutes to prove me wrong today, to show a bit of consistency, and I just didn't see it from him. He should have scored with that header, or at least put the ball back where it came from and made the keeper pull off the difficult save. Some of his first touches, his decision making when he was in the box. There was one when he pulled it back to one of their players, and I was just thinking, that's what I've been talking about with him. It's his football brain upstairs. His feet go too quick sometimes. But I mean, Eddie Howe and Graham Jones have been working tirelessly on him, and he has improved. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But when you're taking a Voldemort off and then bringing a Soucek on and you're chasing a game in a way, that doesn't breathe confidence, does it?
But again, we don't have any other option. I said, we weren't going to see Sean Neve come on for Voldemort.
Unless you throw Gordon up front. But again, we know that doesn't work.
Correct. And I think we've got enough evidence this season that doesn't work. I think that's why we didn't see it. That's why we didn't see, if they were going to pull Big Nick, they weren't going to put Gordon up front and put Barnes on the left. It just wasn't going to work.
Yeah.
So
we start and Brentford and build from there. Getting the points the next 3 games in the festive program. Also, we should be 5th.
I'll have my fingers crossed with you, Paul. We are firmly right now in a position where we are as close from the top as we are to the bottom.
Yeah.
And
this is what I said to everyone.
There
is no easy away fixture in the Premier League. You have to go to an away ground, earn the right to play your football. And we didn't do that. When we scored, it felt like everyone was like, oh, this is easy. We're 1-0 up after 5 minutes. We'll just carry on going forward and steamroll them. And it just did not happen. And it's fair credit to West Ham. I mean, I thought West Ham played an absolute blinder today, to be fair. I don't know if you agree with this or not, but I thought West Ham played the perfect away performance at home. They literally played the low block, waited for us to overcommit, and then when they got the ball, they went forward quickly, and they could have scored 5 or 6 today.
Yep.
Nick Pope's getting a lot of blame. I mean, why did he punch the ball instead of catching it? I mean, he got a good punch on that ball. That fell to Paqueta, which was 35 yards out. My question is, where's the defence closing them down?
Yeah.
Nick Pope's done his job. He's cleared the ball as far as he can. Catching the ball these days, when you're coming through a crowd of players, if you drop it, you're going to concede. So it's a lot easier. And a lot of goalkeepers do it these days. They punch the ball and you got good distance on it. Your defence then has to clear out and block the shot that's coming in. Now, the shot, should he have saved it? I mean, I'm 50-50 on it because he hit it well. And when you watch it, it looks like he's got it. And then suddenly the ball dips on him and it goes under his hands.
Yeah.
And I thought he had it. And then it just dipped at the last minute. And I don't know if that's the reason why. But that's my thought on it. Nothing you can do about the first goal.
That was a great goal.
The second goal. The first goal, he probably could have saved it, maybe not because of the dip. The second goal was the own goal. Not really much. I mean, what the hell was Dan Burn doing? Dan Burn, for me, is at the moment, when he's playing that left back, he seems to play where he wants.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. Yep. No, and again, if we had another alternative at left back, if we had somebody that we could put out there, we have none. That means he's playing game in, game out. And quite frankly, at 33 years of age, he's not getting a break. And he could truly use one.
Yeah. The mistake for the third, I mean, it was all over by then, to be fair, the way the ball trickled through him. I mean, it was hit quite well, but he shouldn't have allowed that to happen. So Jordan Cronin, is that how you pronounce his name? Cronin? Jordan Cronin, he works not for the Chronicle, but he's a journalist.
Say that's his name. Go ahead.
Jordan Cronin, I believe it is.
Okay.
Asked Eddie Howe if this was a lack of effort from his players today, and this is his response. I don't know. I wouldn't go there right now. I wouldn't say that. I think, as I said, I don't like the body language of the group, but that can manifest its outcome in many different ways. Fatigue, whatever. We rested a lot of players midweek to try and give them fresh energy, but sometimes it can just be the routine of preparing for another game can catch up with you. I don't want to look like I'm looking for excuses. I'm trying myself to figure out what happened today. It's never one thing. There's always a combination of factors, but certainly I've never accused my players of lacking effort. They're too good at professionals for that. I mean, that was his chance to come out and say, there might have been a bug in the camp.
Yep.
He didn't want to. But it's this result and this performance has come in as a bit of a shock to him, because like I say, when we've drawn away or lost away, at least we've given everything. And he didn't see that in the body language today with his players. And that is a little bit worrying for me. What is going on?
Fair enough.
That's how it's spelled. Yeah. I think I got it right.
Paul is asking if anybody in the chat can look and see how many games we've got between now and the end of December. I was pulling up my phone to look. Yeah.
I don't even think we can get to fifth, to be completely honest with you, Paul, with the amount of games that there are and how many points we're behind. And you're talking about everyone above us losing probably 2 or 3 games. So I'll be very surprised if we can get anywhere near fifth by the end of December, to be honest with you.
I sat and watched. What matches do we have on yesterday at the pub? We had the Arsenal match on.
Flying.
We watched the whole Spurs versus Chelsea and Spurs being Spursy.
Well, that was interesting, wasn't it?
And then watching Liverpool against Villa.
1-2-0.
Mm-hmm. It was just a day. So, of course, we have the one couple in our group where he's a Liverpool supporter and she's a Spurs fan. That was a tough one a tough 1-2 game schedule to sit through yesterday. Because her team just wasn't there against Chelsea for whatever reason. And then, there's been a lot of talk about Spence and who was it? Spence and Van de Ven, who walked in and refused to shake Frank's hand yesterday. I don't think that's anything. I think that's more than likely. It's just frustration with their own performance as well.
I think so as well, to be fair.
And nobody likes, none of the London teams like losing a London derby. So, I don't know. I'm just, I know you and I are talking today. You and I are probably talking tomorrow. You and I are probably talking Tuesday. We're trying not to. We're trying not to overanalyze this before a game on Wednesday. And we've got, and thankfully for us, that's a home game. Is it not? Or are we away to Bilbao?
Home, aren't we?
I thought so. Yeah. I'm not looking at the fixture list in front of me. I thought we were at home.
No, I'm sure we're at home because I'm sure I applied for a ticket and didn't get one.
and then we're back. Oh yeah, but yes, it is because of course War Flags is asking everybody to bring scarf to make it a sea of black and white. Yeah, it's a good question, Blade. An unfortunate moniker for you today, mate. Um, it's just hard to put into words how poor we were today. And for me, the chop changing of the formation was the chop changing of the formation for the players today was, I think, maybe part and parcel also for their performance today. It was confusing. Like I said, right back changed 4 times. You had Kraft, then Chow, then Murphy, then Tonali. You know, the center back pairing went from Botman Chow to Botman Share. I mean, to Share and Shar, and then Chow and Share. I didn't say that 3 times.
I agree with that.
It was constantly changing. And as you said, when Dan Burn plays at left back, he apparently gets to play where he wants. You know, who was it? Was it JC who came into our group chat who said, you know, is Dan Burn playing in midfield today?
Yeah.
You know, because, you know, at some point, did it look more like we were playing with a back 3 of Cher and Chow and well, it wasn't Burn. Who was it?
Whoever, because Dan Burn was always up front. But the thing is, when you do that, and you got the likes of Bowen on that right-hand side, stupid, and Somerville, very quick.
Somerville I thought Somerville had a great game today.
Did.
You know, and he was one of those ones that, you know, when Leeds went down, we were saying, you know, Somerville would have been one we should have gone for him. Yeah. You know, and again, Bowen we should have gone for when he was only 20 mil. But, you know, for whatever reason, we couldn't pony up the cash then either. So, Mike, so we were talking about this the other day. What are we looking for in terms of January? I know you don't like going shopping in January because it's always inflated, but everything was inflated this summer. You know, are we looking for a genuine left back alternative in case Hall goes down again?
I think you have
because I think you're right, you know, but obviously we're not going to recall Matty Target from Middlesbrough.
No,
you know, we'd be looking for another left back, but you're looking for a left back who has to realize that they're going to be second fiddle to Lewis Hall as long as he's fit.
Which is always a tough thing to do. Because
correct.
Whenever you go shopping in January or the summer, you're looking to improve the team, not buy people to replace when they're injured. So it's a tough one for me, that one. You'll probably look for someone who can play versatile, can probably play maybe left centre back and also play left back, so it gives them more of a chance to get in the team and cover more positions potentially.
You're looking for an Aaron Hughes, and
pretty much. You know, there's not many of them around.
No, just I also, unfortunately, I feel like we have to find another alternative to center forward. We have to have somebody up there when Voltemata is not available. If we can't rely on Vissa, and we can't rely on young Asula, you know, we need something up front. I think in every other position on the pitch, we've got depth. It's left back and forward and center forward where we're struggling.
I think it's got to be the progression of the team and the tactics and the formation that needs to change more than the personnel. I think this 4-3-3 teams have now figured out how to play against us.
You've been saying 4-2-3-1 for a bit.
I have. And the reason being is that it's very hard to run through a 4-2-3-1 than it is to run through a 4-3-3. Because we went up today, right? We went up today against a formation of 4-5-1 and we got overrun in midfield.
And that's the thing that troubles me, is because our 4-3-3, the way we play it, is we're easily capable of bunkering into a 4-5-1 when we don't have the ball.
We do, but we don't
for whatever reason, we could not pull that off today.
We don't do it well enough. And like I say, West Ham played the perfect tactical, which was let us get as far forward as possible, see the gaps, and then hit us on the break. It was a perfect away performance at home. And if you watch us at St James's Park, when we're dominating games, we find it tough to break down teams that play a low block. And the only way you're going to beat those teams is by changing your formation to a 4-2-3-1. It is similar with a number 10 who can get into pockets of space and slide the ball into great areas. And that's what we're missing.
And right now, we don't have, I think we have that 10 in Big Nick, which is.
Or even in Bruno. If you're playing Big Nick as the 9, you've got Bruno who can slip up there, and you can play Tonali and Miley as the 2.
True.
Because Bruno can find those. Bruno's incredible at finding those passes in the channels.
Agreed.
When he's far enough up the pitch to do it.
Correct.
And in this 4-3-3 at the moment, especially today, he was not far enough forward to be able to get on the ball and do his stuff. And then when we lost the ball, nobody was quick enough to get back to the.
Yeah.
Let's have a look at the. So these are the stats from today. They're ours. I mean, they've got Tonali as a 7.4. Probably. I mean, Gordon. Like I say, Gordon wasn't as bad as what people think he was. I know sometimes the stats on this thing can make it look better, but he was dangerous. Yes, he lost the ball in some silly situations and put us in a bit of trouble, which he did in the first half, which I was really frustrated with. But had he come out in the second half and carried on that little patch that he had at the end of the half when we were starting to sort of get back into the game a little bit, I think Gordon would have been a bit better today. I thought he pulled the trigger a little bit too quickly on him. Murphy scored a great goal. He had a lot of shots from silly angles and distances, to be honest with you, for my liking at times. Voldemort, like I say, never got into the game. And when the ball did go up front, he couldn't make it stick. But it's hard to make it stick when there's 5 West Ham players around you and there's no one there to help you.
Yeah.
And everybody else, shocking. I mean, look at Paqueta, an 8.5. Tells you everything. I mean, he was brilliant. I thought Botman had a better game than the 6.8.
I think we're all, if you listen to the pundits, Paqueta's put himself in the shop window. He wants out. So why wouldn't he put on the performance of a lifetime against his best buddy as well? His best mate is Bruno. So
yeah, he was getting very beggy.
Yes, he was. Yeah.
But Paqueta always turns up against us. And very quickly, just to answer this one for Peter Griffin, is that Voldemort came off. We don't know why, but I think I think there's a bit of illness going around the camp. There was no injury as far as we're aware. He's not said anything in his post-match press conference. He just dragged him off. Either he was that bad and we didn't want him on the pitch anymore, or there's something else going on in the background that we don't know about yet. Sorry, go on then, now, Dan.
No, I was just saying, looking at those ratings, I don't think the ones, Wilson I didn't think was fantastic, but, it was also his first time ever playing against one of his former sides, which was a surprising statistic when Gaz and I talked about that on Friday.
How many clubs has he been at? Coventry, Bournemouth, and Newcastle? When it comes to the...
And of course, West Ham is the team that he has scored the most... But I mean, West Ham is the team that he has scored the most goals against.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, he loves a goal.
Which was funny when he signed for them. Some of those ratings I think are even a little high. So anyway, I thought Potts had a better game than they've given him there.
Yeah, I thought Somerville did as well.
Yep. So I don't know.
Yeah, Callum Wilson hasn't really been around the block of what people think he has. He started at Coventry, went on loan to Kettering and Tamworth. Then he moved to Bournemouth, Newcastle, and West Ham. So he's not well journeyed like some strikers have been in the past, like say a Robbie Keane or a Peter Crouch.
Craig Bellamy.
Yeah. The only thing evil needs to thrive is for good men to stand up and do nothing. I don't want to talk about the train situation. It's a football channel. It's what happened on that train was horrible, but politics needs to stay out of football, and so does that kind of chat. Obviously, we hope everyone is going to be 100% recovered. I know there's still one person in critical condition, but we're here to talk about football, not about the crap that's going on in the world. This is our escape from the shite that's going on in the world right now, and we've got to talk about a 3-1 defeat. So that's a lot of crap we've got to talk about. Let's not burden it with more. I just, it makes me worried about going to games now and stuff like that, and I shouldn't have to feel like that, and I don't think we should talk about it as we're a football channel, not a politics channel.
So why was it hard for Nick to get into the game today? Is it because he was Nuno, because Nuno has now seen him twice for two different teams, come on, Gary. Was their remit, was the defense's remit, triple team Voltamata every possibility, anytime you ever see him. But we've seen Nick dribble out of that. We've seen his ball handling skills capable of it. So maybe you're right. Maybe there was maybe there's a bug going through the camp right now. We didn't travel well.
Touch seemed off today.
Yeah. He was a bit leggy today.
It's hard to put my finger on it, right? Let's talk about 15 more minutes. So let's just talk about the hard decision, which everyone thinks is an easy decision. Ramsdale in for Pope, yes or no?
I thought Ramsdale had a fantastic game on Wednesday night. The save that he made to put the ball over. I still can't understand how he got the ball over the crossbar. I would have seen him touch the ball to his left around the post. How he got lift under it to go up and over the crossbar. Pope does that. It's in the back of the net because for whatever reason it would have gone over him and into the net. How Ramsdale got it up and over. Ramsdale had a fantastic game on Wednesday night. I would like to have seen him continue that good form for a couple more games. This is the thing that troubles me. The number of people on social media who have come guns blazing at Shola for our loan arrangements and everything. We send these young players off to get minutes and they don't even get on the bench, that kind of thing, and everybody's pissing and moaning about it. So we sign an Aaron Ramsdale on loan, but the only time he ever gets a chance to play is in the Carabao Cup. I have a problem with that. And if I was Southampton, part of me would say I would also have a problem with that as well.
I think Ramsdale was signed and he knew his situation, to be honest with you. I think he knew he'd be challenging Pope, but he'd find it hard to remove him. And just to debunk the Shola thing, because I got told this from someone who's in the know, Shola doesn't arrange the loans or where they go.
He just checks in on the players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
he's the morale builder.
Yeah, I've given him a lot of stick, Shola, for doing a shit job, but apparently it's not even him. So apparently he's the one who looks after keeps in touch with the families.
Cool. And the assistant loan manager is Ramage, who is now the assistant coach for what, the ladies? Or
I don't know.
I think so. So
I agree with that. Their energy levels were just so much higher than ours today. They fought for everything. Everything looked off today, unfortunately. And this is what I said. There's no easy away game in the Premier League. If you turn up to an away ground feeling 75%, 99% of the time you're going to get played off the park because you're not going to be able to chase them down with their crowd. Their crowd were probably the loudest I've ever heard them. I don't know if they're using antennas or whatever. Or
Gaz and I were saying on Friday that they just appear soulless in that stadium, and I didn't see that today.
Yeah, exactly. And like I said, They should have really been 1-0 up straight away because that Bowen effort was fantastic. And do you know what it is? I know he's 30, but I keep thinking just sign him in January.
Yeah.
Just sign someone who can score goals from the wings.
I don't know what happened to Elanga. I don't know why his confidence is in the toilet at the moment.
No,
I don't know why he can't seem to string together. He's lightning quick. I mean, it's fantastic to watch him, but then his end product is nil. You know, his passes don't go where they want to go. You know, he is suffering from a lack of confidence. There's no doubt about that one.
But this is the other thing with Elanga. We know he's got lightning pace, but yet we put him on when they're literally playing a bank of 10.
Yeah.
You can't use your pace as well as you want to. Elanga needs to be used, could have been used perfectly today if the team had did what they needed to do. So they went 1-0 up. We should have sat back and hit them on the break.
Yep.
And at half time, we could have brought Elanga on and used his pace to hit them on the break. Let them chase the game rather than us chasing the game, that's the frustrating thing about it. When you go and you 1-0 up away, you do not let them back into the game. You defend hard, you press everything, and you create chances by them panicking going forward, and you hit them on the break. And we just didn't do that. We just it felt like a very amateurish. Everything was amateur today. Everything.
That's fair. Yeah.
It's frustrating.
Yep. Agreed.
Oh, by the way, we're only 5 points off fifth. So maybe I jumped the gun a little bit. But Sunderland are obviously playing tomorrow night against Everton. And if they beat Everton, they'll be 8 points ahead of us.
Is it home or away?
Home.
Okay.
We need a David Moyes masterclass.
Yeah, need a David Moyes masterclass and show that they're better away from home than they have been at home.
Well, they haven't stadium. They haven't been that bad. They've only got beat off Liverpool and Palace, haven't they? Right?
Yeah.
But they haven't done. I mean, they've been solid on the road. Like they've been hard to beat.
Yeah.
No, I haven't.
No, we haven't. Go ahead.
Do that now, Blade. It's difficult to do this tonight. Dire Crow, been absolutely amazing. 20% off using code BAS20. Link is in the description. And of course, Sparky, the double award-winning Geordie Land experience. Have a look at them. If you want to learn about the Northeast, they're the places to go to. And Prince, charming. I will get some pictures of them and all that sort of stuff to put up. But a shop in Wallsend who do loads of memorabilia from movies to football to Newcastle. Go and check them out. They've got some amazing stuff in their shop. Thanks, Blade, for the heads up. Mackhams are winning that. Yeah, probably are. I don't really want to talk about it either. I mean, we're going to talk about it tomorrow night. We've obviously got the Champions League game coming up.
Yeah.
I think you see a different Newcastle United side on the Wednesday night. They lose
I agree.
And then they get themselves up for the Wednesday night to make amends for the weekend. But it's not making amends in the right way because, yes, we're doing well in the Champions League. But you're not going to play in the Champions League next year if you don't take care of business on the weekend. And that's the frustrating thing. I said at the start of the season, especially when the Barcelona game came around, we've got to start Vic Mortemard. You've got to put Mortemard in against Barcelona. No, he needs to play at the weekend. And this is the reason why I said that, because glamorous nights are lovely. We're not going to win the Champions League as much as that's going to pain some very optimistic Newcastle fans. We're not good enough to win the Champions League. And unless you win it, you're not going to be in it again next season because unless we do better in the Premier League very, very, very quickly. You know, we've had some sides let themselves down this weekend and we're one of them. So we need to pick ourselves up very, very quickly. Stuck £10 on one of our fans being dressed as that would not surprise me. I reckon it'll be more than one fan. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. Of course it will. And then a Sunderland fan will probably turn up as a horse. So I wouldn't put anything past anyone when it comes to this. Gary, we can't win the Champions League, mate. We're not beating a Real Madrid over 2 legs. We're not beating a PSG over 2 legs. We're not beating a Liverpool over 2 legs. We're not beating a Bayern Munich over 2 legs. And there's no way we can be that lucky and miss all those teams. We could win the Carabao Cup again, though.
That would be fantastic. And I fancy our chances against Fulham, especially at home.
I do at home. Fulham, again, very unlucky to get beat off us. We deserve to win that game, though, I thought. But they showed how good they were when they went at home this weekend against Wolves and beat them 3-0 quite comfortably.
Yep.
So Fulham won't be a turnover. But again, when it's under the lights on a midweek game, like the Champions League is, I take our chances against anyone at home.
Yep.
The problem with the Champions League is it's over 2 legs when you get further down it. How do you know we won't play Real or PSG? When it comes to the knockout stages, we could end up with any of them.
We'll see.
You go.
We'll just have to see.
We've got to get there yet.
An inflatable knob chasing the seagull.
That would be brilliant. I'm forever the optimist, Baz. You have to be in it to win. You do have to be in it to win it.
Agreed.
I was ever the optimist yesterday. I put £8 on 5 lines on 4 lines on the lottery and won fuck all. And I saw 8 seagulls on the way home this morning. Not 8 seagulls, so 8 magpies.
8 magpies on the way home from work. Yeah.
And I thought we're going to win. And a couple of them doubled up.
And somebody said yesterday at the pub, they said, "Oh, did you hear the rat is having surgery?" I said, "No, I haven't said that. I haven't read that. I haven't seen that. We'll take that as it comes, you know."
Exactly.
If that happens, well, that's unfortunate. But at the same time, it can put a smile on my face as well. So, I agree. I think we'll. The question, okay. So, would you play Ramsdale against Bilbao then?
Yes.
As would I.
I think I would now.
Would Eddie? I doubt it.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Which is, a bit of a shame. But I mean, the reason why I want, and I know this sounds really cynical and harsh, but if Ramsdale fails, it will be like Nick Pope's better than what you think he is. Yeah.
It's damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah, I feel sorry for Nick Pope at times because I think he's a very good shot stopper. I think he gets a lot of stick. Kept us in the game quite a bit today. I think he was let down with everything that was in front of him. But Ramsdale was so good against Spurs. I think it's hard to ignore that performance and not think in the back of your mind, as Eddie Howe should be thinking, do you know what it is? Maybe it's time to give him a go.
Yep.
So that is very, very, very interesting. I went to the bingo once and waited 8 bloody numbers for number 11 on the national 28,000. It was first number out next game. That is really shocking. Look, that's you know what it is. You know when you watch a game of football, like sometimes I put a bet on like a team to be winning at half time. A team that you expect to be winning, like Barcelona tonight, 3-1 up at half time, 2-1 up at half time. And you watch a game and they have like 20 shots, 15 on target, 3 blocked, 2 off target. And that's the first half. It finishes 0-0. They come out in the second half and they score within the first minute.
Yeah.
You just think, your luck's not in when that happens. So I know how you feel, Gary. I know how you feel. Does anyone think our best mid 3 now is Tonali? Yes, I do.
On every given day. Yep. Oh, sorry. I read that. No, I read that wrong. I was thinking our best midfield trio for the longest time have been Tonali, Bruno, and Joelinton. And then I don't think there's something up with Joelinton this season. I don't think he's come back from injury. Right.
He's had the odd good game, hasn't he? Now, the thing with Joelinton is that when you drop him, you miss his aggression.
Yep.
And everyone looks at us in the midfield and go, well, they've been easily overrun. You put Joelinton back into it, you get that aggression back and you get the tackles in, you get all this flying and you get the aggression in people's faces. Then they go, well, he hasn't passed the ball well enough. He hasn't done this well enough. And you think, come on.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Exactly. So but I would like to see Ramsey in that midfield because he's quick, he's intelligent, he likes
ball carrier.
The ball forward, he carries the ball forward very well. I like him, I really do. But again, you got to be careful because Joelinton offers something that those 3 in midfield don't.
There's a tenacity there that is missing.
Exactly.
So,
right.
All right.
It's been fun, guys. Thank you very much for joining in, Dan. As always, amazing. We will be doing Oil Brothers tomorrow
On Martin's channel.
Nope, this one. It's our turn.
Okay.
I am thinking about a start one, bench one, sell one
Yep,
show.
I like that.
Where we have a bit of fun, current players, also ex-players, and all that sort of stuff. And I have to try and find a way to wind Martin up as well. So I'm on it. I'm thinking of going like Shearer, Ferdinand, Kincladze. You'd be like, come on. So yeah, I've got a few little things going on. So join us tomorrow for that. It'll be good fun. Man City obviously won 2-0. 3-1 today. Haaland's a machine, but we have to ask Martin the question: if you take Haaland out of that team, are you actually any good? Because it's frightening the amount of goals he scored to everybody else. So tune in tomorrow for all those answers, and we'll ask the Bruno question whether that is true. He's leaving.
Sure, goal.
Yeah, exactly. I love that sort of stuff. But join in the chat as well, because when we put them up, we want you guys to have your say on it as well. So join in tomorrow, 8:15. We're literally on any every night apart from Wednesday night. So just keep an eye out, and I'll get everything set up.
Good to see everybody.
Speak to you soon.
Shut up.